Are we ready?
I think we're ready. I think we can just start.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
What's up?
So we're here to talk about
How are you?
new Pope just dropped.
New Pope just
Sorry.
dropped. New Pope did just drop, and this will be topical because we're recording this now.
Yeah. Other than that, we are here
Chicago
to talk
Pope.
about Chicago Pope.
Yeah.
We're so bad at this. It's like I dread the day that we have to do like an actual like live interview with anyone. I think that's the beauty of online stuff, is that there's so much opportunity to just cut things, but in this moment
We're not cutting anything.
we cannot
We're
cut.
steamrolling.
So I will not tell you any of my secrets.
I heard that he wasn't like
this
in
call
any of the TikTok videos about potential popes. So I don't know. Maybe he's a dark horse.
Wonder if that's partly why they picked him.
Until Sunday.
makes you
So
think.
until Sunday.
Until Sunday.
We are having a quick chat. We're having a quick chat about this wonderful music video that you have made for Until Sunday. Tell me about it.
Yeah. Video is out now.
You've been working on this video for 2 years.
Two entire
calendar years.
Fucking crazy.
What's the biggest life lesson that you learned in those 2 calendar years?
Whatever you think is going to be easy. Wait, no, I shouldn't say that. Whatever you think is going to be easy, it's not. But
It doesn't get better.
what I've learned is that animating is hard, and there's a very good reason people go to school for it, and I have a lot of respect for people who do that. And anyway, yeah, so it's been 2 years, which is actually around the time we wrote the song as well. I think I remember...
Yeah, I feel like you started working on it like pretty soon after that night that we...
Yeah, because we wrote it with Aiden Hogg in LA 2 years ago again. And I think I remember coming to you like mid-session being like, oh my god, I have such a vision for this. And you were like, dude, we haven't even finished the song yet. And you're already talking about music videos. And I'm like, yeah. And then I got home and I got out my tiny little iPad mini.
The one and only.
Which is such a small screen. By the way, this entire music video was done on this small screen with... I got this grip.
It's like the size of your head.
Because eventually my fingers started to hurt because I was drawing too much. But
ergonomic queen.
Yeah, I just started doodling it, and then animating was something that I had done a little bit before, just a little bit, because I kind of liked the repetitive nature of it, where it's like, to get someone to move, all you have to do is just draw one frame of them moving, like one frame of them here, move them just a little bit.
It's like meditative.
And then suddenly you put it all together and they're just walking.
Yeah.
So that was really kind of why that happened. But then...
What was like the inspiration behind the video? Like where did it, like what's the Cole's notes it? But maybe not Cole's notes. That's actually not what I'm asking at all. I'll go with my original question. What was
Who is Cole? Cole is one of my best friends in the entire world.
Shout out
but
Cole.
Who is Cole? Who is Cole of Cole's notes?
Tell me about
anyway.
What was the inspiration behind the video? Like what's going on?
I think every time I've gone to therapy, or anytime I've sort of tried to talk about my feelings when it comes to things like depression and anxiety and grief and all of that really fun stuff, I always imagined it as this like black mass inside of my brain, almost like this thing that is just there, a bit like a storm cloud almost. And it's not always bad, right? It's just there sometimes, much like the clouds in the sky. But I've had that visual in my head for a long time. And a lot of that visual is actually, I think, applied to the song, right? Like in the writing. And so to have the opportunity to actually like put that out in somewhat physical form, this was kind of the perfect opportunity for that. And so I had the idea of just this person who is not even a person. He's just a little guy.
This little guy.
Which just a little guy, and it's me, it's us. We've talked about this. Bestfriend has an identity crisis. We have no idea who we are. This is the best we can do.
The closest
We're just
we
these
can...
little
if
guys.
We had to draw up our best guess.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, it's always there. It's always following you. Again, it's not always bad. And it just kind of, it's almost like a friend sometimes who's kind of there. And then other times it just is this weird all-consuming kind of really bad feeling that you then snap out of. And then it doesn't go away, but it's smaller. That's not Cole's notes, but it's the
that's the inspiration that I was looking for. That is very poignant. I think the imagery is so sharp and so specific feeling to me. When I just watch him like bubble around, it just gives me a weird sense of comfort and familiarity and I don't know, tummy hurtiness, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, like, this was originally an idea that I had for a music video that was going to be actual people, right?
Right. I forgot about
that. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, oh man, like I kind of want to go big with this. And I have $5. I have $5 in a dream. And literally, like, why do we do this music video? I mean, that was like, we got treadmills and then returned them after.
We did not
like,
do that. We did not do that at all. That's a joke.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a hilarious joke. It's not like we named who we got it from, so it's fine. But that's illegal. It's stealing.
Tell us more about tell me more about this little man. Tell me more about this little guy. What are the situations that he's gonna find himself in? What did you want to kind of drive? Like, what did you want to drive home with him?
You know what's funny is that the beauty of the little guy is that there is not a lot going on with the little guy.
There's unspecificity.
He is just a guy he's just going through his day.
I can appreciate it a lot.
He has a very, very normal life. Has the office job, you know, wakes up in the morning, makes breakfast, takes the bus to work, goes to work,
gets caught in the rain,
takes the bus back home. All of that, and everything's kind of gray because of the, you know, gray as in the general sense of monotony that comes with that. And that's kind of his life. And what I think sort of happens, it's weird to say my interpretation because, like, I am the one who created it, but
I like that. That's cool.
I think that my interpretation of it is sort of that, you know, this blob, this mass is following him around, and again, like I said, it's either just there and minding its own business, or it's not, and it's in the way, and it's all consuming, and it's consuming to the point where it starts to bother the little guy, as it does.
As it will.
And yeah, the idea was sort of like the thought that the little guy wants to escape it, and is given this opportunity in this like colorful, but also one-toned still, right? Like it's the purple kind of, everything is the same color still. It's just a little different. And, you know, it's given like a rocket ship. It's just there, and it goes in. Little guy goes in and he's like, yeah, okay, I could do this. I could get away from the...
I could get away from it all. I could use a vacation.
Yeah, I can get away from it all. Easy peasy. Yeah. Just press the button and then we can go. And then, you know, the ship takes off. And I think that, again, my interpretation is that the little guy did not really know what was, like, where it was going to go. Just that he wanted to go. And then he does, and it takes him far into space, so far away that there's no coming back. And I really wanted to drive that home by putting one way, in case you didn't realize it was one way.
That's mission accomplished.
Yeah, and Yeah, and then this is the part where you said that you like it a lot, which is,
My favorite part of the whole
going
thing.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back to it where it's just like the
cuts back to the
black mass,
scenes where the guy's
still there,
been,
yeah.
and it's like the space it's still there, and it's the
Yeah.
space without him, and it's been affected, like.
Yeah, and like nothing changes,
Yeah.
right? Like, and now this guy's in space, and I just really wanted to kind of capture the feeling of, I don't know if you've read the William Shatner essay where he actually went to space.
I haven't read it, but I know what
you're
talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not the same as the recent one, the recent traversal to space. He went to space, and he, in the essay, talks about how he expected this feeling, like this grandiose feeling of like being in space and seeing the Earth from above and feeling almost godlike, I think. But then he talks about how when he was up there and he did see the Earth from space, he only felt this profound sense of like loneliness, and just being so far away from like civilization and humanity just kind of made him kind of understand the gravity of, and no pun intended, the gravity of like what it is to not be like physically on planet Earth. And that was like I read that essay years ago, and it's just stuck with me ever since. And so that was that was it, right? Like that's what happened. Is this this little guy goes to space and he looks at the Earth and he's like, that is so far away from where I once was. What am I doing here? And then the rest, I think, is just, I think the rest is more of like a bit. I think the last little bit, I think, is open to the most interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Of the whole video is like, it's his life leading up to that moment, or it is him imagining his life, like, or what it could have been. I don't know what it is.
What I like about it is that it just like highlights how your stuff grows with you over the years, and like how it's affected by the places that you go and the things that happen to you, and like it was very visually striking. I like it a lot. It's very special to me.
Thank you. Yeah, I liked how it almost grew up with him too, right? Yeah. Like it becomes a bit of a companion almost. Exactly. And I think something that I've had to reckon with, and I'm sure you feel this too, where when you're younger and you're going through these feelings, and going through these feelings of kind of despair and desolation, you're kind of waiting for it to go away, and you're always like, how can I make it go away? How can it stop? And then something I've had to reckon with for the past however many years now, that this has been a part of my life, and by this I just mean like mental health issues and depression and things like that, is that it and I don't mean this in a bleak way, but it never goes away.
It's not gonna go away.
It's like it's a part of you, and depending on how you take it, that could either be the worst realization that you have, or a very comforting one where it's like that's a certainty. Mm-hmm. And there aren't a lot of certainties in this life, and today is a day where I feel optimistic, right? Where it's like I feel optimistic about the fact that it's always going to be there, and the fact that like okay, it's always going to be there, therefore all I have to do is learn how to sit with it and learn how to be around it. But then other days, you have the days where it's like, again, it's everywhere, and you do everything you can, like you play music to drown it out, like in the video with the visual of him turning up the volume, and and then it like pushes it back, and then other days you're just like sitting at your desk and you're doing your work and you're doing your job, and like before you know it, suddenly it's hit you, like that terrible feeling, and you didn't realize it was coming until it's there. But at the end of the day, it's there. Like it's not going anywhere. And I think a lot of the video was sort of that, where and this is, I think, reflected in the lyrics too, where it's like, I think it needs some company to get it through the night, where it's like, the more that I sort of treat it like a living thing, like a part of me that also needs care and to be listened to and to be understood, the better I feel. And then other days where I'm like so angry with it, right? Like I want it gone. And that never works. And that's kind of, that's, I think, sort of where we take this guy in this journey.
That's really well said. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. I like that a lot.
Thank you.
And thanks for making this, because holy cow.
Thank you.
I think it's funny that every time we show someone, they go, "Oh wow, oh it's like good, like oh my gosh." It is one of the small joys I've had in the last few weeks, which isn't to say that there are
I've been loving showing people,
but it is a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's I think people I think so far people have mostly expected to go into it thinking it's going to be just clips of like little snippets of life.
I don't think anyone expects it to be a story.
Yeah, which I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it's received and what people think about it.
Yeah, me too.
And like how people interpret it. Yeah. But until Sunday, it's out now. It's weird. It is weird being done.
Yeah, I'm very pleased to be though. And I'm pleased to have, I don't know, I'm just happy to be on this journey.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I think this is,
I think it's probably video,
good place to end
video
it.
time, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Let's go.
Cool. Great work.